Top 25 Kaiser Permanente Interview Questions and Answers. Kaiser Permanente interviews often focus on patient care, teamwork, communication, problem-solving, safety, diversity, and service quality. Whether you are applying for a clinical, administrative, customer service, or support role, the interviewer wants to know if you can work professionally in a healthcare environment and represent Kaiser Permanente's values. Strong answers should show that you care about patients, respect confidentiality, follow procedures, and stay calm under pressure. In this guide, you will find 25 Kaiser Permanente interview questions and sample answers to help you prepare with confidence and sound professional during your interview. 1. Why do you want to work at Kaiser Permanente? I want to work at Kaiser Permanente because it has a strong reputation for patient-centered care, teamwork, prevention, and quality healthcare. I like that Kaiser Permanente focuses not only on treating illness but also on helping patients stay healthy through education, follow-up care, and coordinated services. I am looking for a workplace where I can grow professionally while contributing to meaningful work. I also respect organizations that value diversity, respect, and collaboration. I believe my communication skills, reliability, and commitment to service would fit well with Kaiser Permanente's mission. 2. What do you know about Kaiser Permanente? Kaiser Permanente is one of the largest integrated healthcare organizations in the United States. It provides care through hospitals, medical offices, physicians, nurses, specialists, and health plans working together. What stands out to me is the focus on coordinated care, preventive health, and improving patient outcomes. Kaiser Permanente also emphasizes technology, patient education, and access to care. I understand that employees are expected to provide professional, respectful, and high-quality service. To me, Kaiser Permanente represents a healthcare system that values both patient experience and long-term health improvement. 3. How would you handle a difficult patient or member? If I were dealing with a difficult patient or member, I would first stay calm and listen carefully without interrupting. Many people become upset because they are worried, confused, or frustrated. I would acknowledge their concern, speak respectfully, and try to understand the real issue. Then I would explain what I can do, follow Kaiser Permanente's policies, and involve a supervisor if needed. My goal would be to reduce tension, provide accurate information, and make the person feel heard. I believe patience and professionalism are very important in healthcare. 4. How do you prioritize tasks in a busy healthcare environment? In a busy healthcare environment, I prioritize tasks based on urgency, patient safety, deadlines, and the needs of the team. I first focus on anything that directly affects patient care or safety. After that, I organize remaining tasks by importance and time sensitivity. I also communicate clearly with coworkers if priorities change or if I need help. I try to stay organized by using notes, schedules, or task lists. I understand that healthcare can change quickly, so I remain flexible while making sure important responsibilities are completed accurately and on time. 5. How do you protect patient confidentiality? I protect patient confidentiality by following HIPAA rules, company policies, and professional standards at all times. I only access patient information when it is necessary for my job, and I never discuss private information in public areas or with unauthorized people. I would make sure computer screens, documents, and records are kept secure. If someone asks for information, I would verify that they are allowed to receive it before sharing anything. Patient trust is extremely important in healthcare, so I take confidentiality seriously and would always handle information carefully. 6. Describe a time you worked as part of a team. In my previous experience, I worked with a team during a very busy period when several tasks had to be completed quickly. Instead of focusing only on my own work, I communicated with coworkers, helped where needed, and made sure everyone understood the priorities. We divided responsibilities based on each person's strengths and kept each other updated. Because we worked together, we completed the work on time and avoided mistakes. That experience taught me that teamwork requires communication, flexibility, respect, and a willingness to support others when pressure is high. 7. How would you handle a mistake at work? If I made a mistake at work, I would take responsibility immediately and report it to the appropriate person instead of trying to hide it. In healthcare, even small mistakes can affect patients, coworkers, or records, so honesty is very important. I would explain what happened, help correct the issue, and follow the proper procedure. Afterward, I would review what caused the mistake and take steps to prevent it from happening again. I believe accountability and learning from mistakes are important parts of being a trustworthy employee. 8. How do you deal with stress at work? I deal with stress by staying organized, focusing on one priority at a time, and keeping a calm professional attitude. In healthcare, stressful moments can happen often, so I try not to react emotionally. I take a moment to assess the situation, communicate clearly, and follow the correct process. I also believe preparation helps reduce stress, because when you understand your responsibilities, you can respond more confidently. Outside of work, I maintain healthy habits so I can stay focused. My goal is to remain dependable, even during pressure. 9. How would you provide excellent customer service at Kaiser Permanente? Excellent customer service at Kaiser Permanente means treating every patient, member, visitor, and coworker with respect, patience, and professionalism. I would greet people politely, listen carefully to their needs, provide accurate information, and follow through on what I promise. If I do not know an answer, I would not guess. I would find the correct information or direct them to the right person. I understand that people may be anxious when dealing with healthcare issues, so kindness and clear communication can make a big difference in their experience. 10. Tell me about a time you handled a conflict. I once handled a conflict when a coworker and I had different opinions about how to complete a task. Instead of arguing, I asked to discuss the issue calmly. I listened to their point of view and explained mine respectfully. We realized that both of us wanted the same outcome, but we had different approaches. We agreed on a solution that followed the correct process and helped the team move forward. That experience taught me that conflict should be handled with respect, listening, and a focus on solving the problem. 11. How do you make sure your work is accurate? I make sure my work is accurate by slowing down when needed, checking details carefully, and following established procedures. I understand that accuracy is especially important in healthcare because errors can affect patients' appointments, records, billing, or communication. I review information before submitting it and ask questions if something is unclear. I also avoid distractions when handling important tasks. If I am working with patient information, I double-check names, dates, and instructions. Accuracy comes from being focused, organized, and willing to verify details instead of making assumptions. 12. How would you handle a patient who is upset about a long wait time? If a patient was upset about a long wait time, I would listen respectfully and acknowledge their frustration. I would avoid blaming others or making excuses. Instead, I would explain what I can, provide an update if available, and thank them for their patience. If possible, I would check with the appropriate team member to get more information. I would also offer any reasonable assistance within my role. Even when I cannot immediately solve the wait time, I can still show respect, empathy, and clear communication. 13. Why should Kaiser Permanente hire you? Kaiser Permanente should hire me because I am dependable, professional, and committed to providing excellent service in a healthcare environment. I understand the importance of patient care, confidentiality, teamwork, and accuracy. I communicate clearly, stay calm under pressure, and take responsibility for my work. I am also willing to learn and adapt to Kaiser Permanente's systems and procedures. I believe I can contribute positively to the team by being reliable, respectful, and focused on helping patients and members have a better experience every time they interact with the organization. 14. How do you handle working with people from different backgrounds? I handle working with people from different backgrounds by treating everyone with respect, fairness, and an open mind. In healthcare, patients and coworkers may have different cultures, beliefs, languages, ages, and experiences. I believe it is important to listen without judgment and avoid assumptions. If I do not understand something, I would ask respectfully or seek guidance when appropriate. Good care and good teamwork require inclusion and respect. I would do my best to make every person feel valued, heard, and treated with dignity. 15. What would you do if you did not know the answer to a patient's question? If I did not know the answer to a patient's question, I would be honest and not guess. I would tell the patient that I want to make sure they receive accurate information, then I would check the proper resource or ask the right team member. In healthcare, giving incorrect information can cause confusion or even risk, so accuracy matters. I would follow up as quickly as possible and make sure the patient is directed properly. I believe honesty and follow-through build trust with patients and members. 16. How do you stay professional when a patient is rude? When a patient is rude, I stay professional by not taking the behavior personally. I understand that people may act that way because they are scared, stressed, in pain, or frustrated. I would keep my tone calm, listen carefully, and respond respectfully. I would set polite boundaries if necessary, and follow workplace procedures if the situation became unsafe or inappropriate. My focus would be on solving the issue while protecting a respectful environment. Professionalism means staying controlled even when the other person is emotional or difficult. 17. Describe a time you went above and beyond for someone. In a previous role, I helped someone who was confused about a process and becoming frustrated. Instead of simply giving a quick answer, I took extra time to explain the steps clearly and made sure they understood what to do next. I also checked that they had the correct information before they left. The person appreciated the support, and the situation ended positively. I believe going above and beyond does not always mean doing something huge. Sometimes it means being patient, helpful, and making someone's experience easier. 18. How do you handle repetitive tasks? I handle repetitive tasks by staying focused and remembering that even routine work is important. In healthcare, repeated tasks such as scheduling, documentation, cleaning, checking information, or following procedures can directly affect quality and safety. I do not treat routine work casually because mistakes can happen when people lose focus. I try to create a steady process, check my work, and maintain a positive attitude. I also look for ways to stay efficient without skipping steps. Consistency is important, especially in an organization like Kaiser Permanente. 19. How would you support Kaiser Permanente's mission? I would support Kaiser Permanente's mission by providing respectful service, following procedures, protecting patient information, and working well with my team. I understand that healthcare is not only about completing tasks, but also about helping people feel cared for and supported. Whether I am speaking with a patient, handling records, assisting coworkers, or solving a problem, I would try to make decisions that support quality care and a positive patient experience. I would also continue learning so I can improve my skills and contribute more effectively. 20. How do you respond to feedback from a supervisor? I respond to feedback with an open and professional attitude. I understand that feedback is meant to help me improve, not criticize me personally. If a supervisor gives me feedback, I would listen carefully, ask questions if I need clarification, and apply the advice to my work. I also appreciate clear expectations because they help me perform better. If I make an adjustment based on feedback, I try to show improvement through my actions. Being coachable is important because every workplace has its own standards and procedures. 21. How would you handle multiple patients or members needing help at the same time? If multiple patients or members needed help at the same time, I would stay calm and prioritize based on urgency, safety, and the order of requests. I would acknowledge each person so they know they have been noticed. Then I would handle the most urgent need first while communicating clearly with others. If the situation required additional support, I would ask a coworker or supervisor for help. I believe people are more patient when they are treated respectfully and kept informed, even during busy moments. 22. What does patient-centered care mean to you? Patient-centered care means treating patients as people, not just as appointments, cases, or tasks. It means listening to their concerns, respecting their needs, explaining information clearly, and helping them feel involved in their care. It also means being compassionate, culturally respectful, and focused on safety and quality. Even if my role is not directly clinical, I can still contribute to patient-centered care through professionalism, accuracy, kindness, and teamwork. To me, patient-centered care is about making every interaction supportive, respectful, and helpful for the patient. 23. How do you handle change in the workplace? I handle change by staying flexible, positive, and willing to learn. In healthcare, processes, technology, schedules, and patient needs can change, so adaptability is important. When something changes, I try to understand the reason behind it and learn the new process carefully. I ask questions if I need clarification and avoid complaining because that can affect team morale. I focus on adjusting quickly and supporting others when possible. I believe employees who can adapt well help the workplace remain efficient, safe, and professional. 24. How would you deal with a coworker who is not following procedure? If I noticed a coworker not following procedure, I would handle the situation carefully and professionally. First, I would consider whether it was a safety, confidentiality, or compliance concern. If it was something minor, I might respectfully remind them of the correct process. If it involved patient safety or policy violations, I would report it to the appropriate supervisor or follow the proper chain of command. I would not ignore it. Because procedures exist to protect patients, staff, and the organization, my goal would be safety and professionalism. 25. Where do you see yourself in the future? In the future, I see myself growing within a healthcare organization where I can continue improving my skills, taking on more responsibility, and contributing to patient care and service quality. I would like to become more knowledgeable about Kaiser Permanente's systems, policies, and best practices. My goal is to be someone the team can depend on, whether that means supporting patients, coworkers, or daily operations. I am interested in long-term professional growth, and I believe Kaiser Permanente would be a strong place to build that future. Preparing for a Kaiser Permanente interview means more than memorizing answers. You need to show that you understand healthcare professionalism, patient service, confidentiality, teamwork, and responsibility. The best answers are clear, honest, and connected to real workplace behavior. Before your interview, practice these questions out loud and adjust the sample answers to match your own experience. Focus on showing that you are dependable, respectful, calm under pressure, and ready to support Kaiser Permanente's mission. With the right preparation, you can walk into your interview with confidence and give answers that sound natural, professional, and strong.